Hello everyone, welcome back to Piedra Designs. This week we've just got a chunk of maple. My dad had given me this piece of maple. It was something he ordered years ago, thinking to make knife handle scales out of. It is a little bit of a figured piece, but it's not a super highly figured piece. The piece is almost 8 inches across right now, but it wasn't truly square, so I'm hoping will come out final diameter somewhere around 7.5, maybe down to 7.25. We'll see. Anyways, it's mounted up on the woodworm screw right now. I am going to try a recess in this bowl. I've only tried that one other time on one other piece, and I think I was doing things wrong. It came off the lathe. Wasn't fun. But we're going to try that again with this bowl. Cut a dovetail recess in here and mounted on the chuck in expansion mode. But let's get to rounding this thing out right now. We're going to be starting our turn at about 1,000 RPM. I guess it's a little closer to 1,100. Alright, that's sanded up through 320. Power sanded. Pretty happy with that. We'll get that cleaned off and get some sanding sealer on. And this is our sanding sealer, which is just store-bought shellac, cut down about 50% with denatured alcohol. Okay, that second coat of sanding sealer's had time to dry. Gonna hit it with the abrasive paste now. So we've got that turned around, mounted up in the chuck, using the mortise on the bowl. Chuck's in expansion mode. We got about 1,000 RPM. We'll start hollowing this thing out, and hopefully it'll stay on the lathe. Now I think we're ready for some sanding. Because of some of this tear out in here, I may start at 60 grit, and we'll sand up through 320, and then we'll get the sanding sealer on, 2 coats of that, and then we'll come back for the abrasive paste. All right, so we got it done. Our slightly figured maple bowl. There's most of the figure there. What little bit of figuring there is in there is really pretty. Overall, the bowl itself is a pretty bowl. Just that piece wasn't quite as figured as even I thought it was, and I knew it wasn't very figured. Anyways, we came out 7 3/8 diameter, about 2 5/16 tall, and an inside depth of about 2 inches. This bowl, this piece of maple, fought me more than any other piece of timber I've ever tried to sand. You wouldn't believe the time I spent trying to get this sanded up on the inside. I sanded and sanded and sanded, and there's still a couple of little imperfections in there if you hold it just right. But I don't know what was going on with it. I don't know if this is actually a piece of hard maple. Any of the any time I've worked with maple in the past was all flat work stuff, and it was soft maple, which is hard enough itself. I can't say that I've knowingly ever worked any hard maple, so I don't know if that's what was going on or what, but it fought me pretty hard. Generally speaking, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. My first attempt at mortise on the bottom, that worked out good. Didn't ever see any sign that it was trying to come off the lathe, so my previous attempt at the mortise, probably just me did something wrong. That's it for this week. Be sure and hit that like button, give us a rumble. If you haven't already done so, subscribe or follow us. From Piedra Designs, thank you.